Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. Welcome to another edition of Fightsticks of the Month, this time for April of 2021. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, if this is your first Fightsticks of the Month video, welcome! Every month I do a video spotlighting the best of the best from Reddit Fightsticks. The rules to be featured in a Fightsticks of the Month video are pretty simple. All you have to do is just post your fight stick here on Reddit Fightsticks. I'll leave a link to this site in the description below. For the month of April, we have some really great fight sticks, some with great wiring, some with great artwork, and some with incredible creativity. But before we get into any of that, we do have to take some time for a very special mention. This month we lost two incredibly important people in the fighting game community. They were pioneers when it came to fight sticks. Tao and Lin unfortunately passed away as a result of a house fire. Now, Tao is the man behind the legendary and iconic Moss arcade sticks. They're instantly recognizable in the FGC if you've never seen one. Here is a small collection of them. Now, Moss, or MAS as some people call it, stands for Multi-Arcade System, and these were some of the very first fight sticks that were available for purchase. The design of the Moss is very unlike the fight sticks we see today. It was designed after an actual arcade cabinet. Playing on a Moss stick feels very close to playing on an actual arcade. The wood is extremely similar. The parts are extremely similar. It's almost the closest thing you can get without having an actual arcade unit. Before brands like Mad Catz, Kwamba, and Hori, most of the North American pros used the Moss stick, including big names like John Choi, Justin Wong, and Alex Valle. Moss sticks have been around forever, and they're still being used by people today. It's pretty safe to say they've been incredibly influential in the arcade stick scene. There's currently a Gofundme for Anthony and Kristen as they've just lost their parents and pretty much everything else in that fire. So far they've raised $40,817 out of a $50,000 goal. If you want to learn more about Moss, there's an incredibly detailed post on Reddit Fightsticks. I'll leave a link in the description below. It also includes the link to the Gofundme. Now moving on to our fight sticks of the month, and the very first stick I'm spotlighting here is the small box thumb. This one's very interesting. I like the overall design, I like the use of the keycaps, and I like the hitbox style of layout. The one thing I'm a little bit hesitant about is the placement of these three buttons here, but depending on the size and how your hand is kind of cramped up to use these buttons here, they might not get in the way. Other than that, it's pretty ingenious. Keeping on the theme of small devices, and here is the Versus Fighter. This one features hot swappable Cherry MX switches, USB-C, its open source firmware, and an RGB underglow. It's also a little bit different of a layout. It's got the WASD, but the WASD is slightly tweaked. This one's interesting, and I would say extra bonus points here to color coordinating the cable with the buttons. It's a nice little touch here. I like the font of the Versus Fighter. I like this little design overall. Now, if controllers with buttons only isn't your thing, what about an incredibly small fight stick? This one's very interesting here. It's tall, but it's also very small. I like the buttons here. I don't know if these buttons would get very tiring to use. I don't know how practical they would be, but this is pretty clever. Now, we've been seeing more and more 3D printed sticks, and I quite like seeing them, and this one here turned out very good. It's nice, it's clean, it uses full-size keycaps, and there's a ton of space on the inside. The current PCB in here is an Arduino clone, but there's a ton of room if you wanted to put something else in here and maybe even store a sandwich. Now moving on to fight sticks made out of wood, and this one here I just find hilarious. I can't get the Captain Planet theme out of my head. From the custom globe ball top to the button inlays to the funny artwork, this one just brings a smile to my face. Tree, nah, I said free. I love this stupid stick. And if you take a look at the bottom here, it says, "Don't summon me again unless you're ready for that pain." I mean, how can you not think this is great? Speaking of good woodworking, this stick also turned out very, very nice. This thing is slick. The buttons here are modified Sanwa OBSNs with walnut and maple. I like how they use the white rims for maple and the black rims for the walnut. I'm a big fan of wood sticks that have been finished nicely, and this stick here is no exception. Now, I wish there were more pictures of this stick here. This stick looks incredibly classy. The dark wood with metallic buttons, metallic ball top, and the Japanese script. The Japanese script is epoxy filled and it ties in very nicely with metallic buttons. This stick looks extremely nice, almost something that you'd place on a coffee table and not really want to use. A couple of years ago, I think it was 2019, I did a video on the Fightsticks of Evo. In that video, I took a look at a fight stick that was made out of a guitar from Guitar Hero. This one here is very similar to that, but also very different. The other guitar stick featured a Sanwa JLF on the base of the guitar, and the action buttons were on the neck. This one here is the other way around, and it doesn't feature a joystick. The action buttons are on the base of the guitar, and the movement buttons, which are micro switches, are on the neck. This is very well done. I like the idea behind this. I like that they used actual micro switches, and props too for wearing a Metallica t-shirt when modeling this stick. Overall, this one is very good. Moving on, we've got a couple of sticks here that I really admire the artwork of. The first one here is obviously of the Matrix. I like the color scheme of this. I like how the buttons kind of tie in with the Matrix code, and I like how the buttons glow when everything is turned off. Overall, this stick looks really good. Here's a Wario themed stick with nice and cheerful artwork. I'm a big fan of pixel graphics, so obviously this would be right up my alley. Overall here, this one is very well executed and just pleasing to look at. Here's a Sam Show stick that has a ton of things going for it. The artwork on this one pops. It's loud, it's tasteful, and nothing really seems out of place. The button inlays tie in nicely. And taking a look here, the buttons are also LEDs, and you can change their color. The custom ball top on this one is incredible. It's tasteful, it's very well done, and it looks good. The wiring here is nice and clean, and I love the dual layer artwork. It's got artwork on the bottom of the top panel and also artwork on the bottom panel. It gives a pretty cool 3D effect. With Guilty Gear Strive just around the corner, I felt like I kinda had to show this stick, so it's Faust themed and it's incredibly clever. I like the placement of the eye and the LED here. This is well done. Moving on to wiring, and if you know me, I'm a big fan of beauty on the outside of the stick, but also on the inside. And this year, wiring has gotten to a whole new level. People are getting better and better at it, and this here is no exception. This is someone's second wiring attempt, and look at how clean it turned out. Now, I love the wiring in this stick and the fact that they went with a clear shell to kind of show everything off. They get huge bonus points for using the limited edition Sumitsu stick here. But the wiring, the casing on the wiring, everything is tied in really nicely. The colors here pop, and this stick looks very good. If you take a look at the wiring though, I mean, can you not see how good people are getting with this? This is well done. This month, Bearwit has been on fire. I've seen 3 different sticks from them and they've all turned out good. The wiring, the artwork, the overall presentation is second to none. Take a look at this. Here's the Kid Buu themed stick. The wire casings here look really nice, purple and pink. They even went the extra mile and put the pink gasket around the connector. Overall, the theme of this stick is nice. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball like Kid Buu, well, maybe you like Super Baby, and this one also looks incredibly good. They went with red and yellow wire casings. Everything here is nice and tidy. And even their Spider-Man, well, Spider-Verse stick here, this one looks very good as well. Red and black. Overall, the themes of these sticks, the presentation, everything here looks very, very good. Next up, this one is a little bit different. It's not a physical stick, it's a digital stick. PDC Sky here, I think that's how you pronounce their name. They created something incredibly cool. So Twitter has kind of butchered the quality of the video a little bit here, but you can see how awesome this looks. There's different colors for the buttons, different backgrounds, different styles. Overall here, the work that went into this is pretty amazing. I love the results. It's a really cool thing, especially for streamers. If you're a streamer and you use a fight stick, you might want to check this out. Now this works with different fight sticks. They've even got it working with a DualShock 4. For those of you who don't know, the whole purpose of this is to show your inputs on screen and show it in an extremely fancy way. For content creators out there, whether you're streaming or creating content for YouTube or something else, I think this is a really cool way to help spice things up and improve things visually. So huge shout out to PDC Sky. I can't wait to see what's next. If you think this is cool, let me know in the comments below. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the fight stick of the month for April of 2021. And that's this year. The Donkey Kong Bongo Stick. How can you not like this thing? This person took a set of Donkey Kong bongos and made them into something better than they'd ever been before. This is hilarious, but also incredibly awesome. If we take a look here, they're using an Omni Arcade Odin for the controls, and for the action buttons, well, they're using, I'm pretty sure these are Sanwas. And then they've got two buttons of guessing start and select just above it here. Overall, the theme of this is really good. The coloring is a little bit off with the Odin. It might have been better if it was yellow, but at the same time purple goes, it doesn't really matter. It's the cleverness that went into this and the overall execution that really matters. I mean, who would have thought of turning Donkey Kong bongos into an actual functional fight stick? The top of the bongos feature well-fitting custom wood inlays. I'm going to assume they're pretty well supported and there's probably not a lot of flex going on. The front of the bongos, well, here's where the cable is to plug into the system, and it looks like it tucks in very nicely. In terms of practicality, I'm pretty sure this will work absolutely fine. In terms of comfort, I'm not quite sure on that one. It does sit pretty tall, and if you're using it on a desk, your hands are going to be kind of up like this. Well, I guess the position of your chair on the desk might matter, but you've got really nowhere to rest your arms. If this is sitting on your lap, again, your arms are going to be raised at maybe an awkward angle. I don't know, maybe it's going to be comfortable to some people. In terms of ingenuity though, this thing is amazing. So congratulations to your Fight Stick of the Month for April of 2021. But anyways, that is all I've got for today. Let me know your thoughts on all of these Fight Sticks in the comments below. Let me know which one was your favorite. And if I missed one that you thought should have been considered, let me know in the comments below. There are a lot of Fight Sticks posted to Reddit Fight Sticks, and sometimes I miss one here and there. Speaking of Reddit Fight Sticks, if you have never visited this subreddit, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a great subreddit with a great community, a ton of really talented members, and almost every day something cool is posted. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Thank you everyone, take care.